Do you get bored with the usual travel destinations you see online like beaches and pools, historical places, and restaurant hopping? Well, why not try this not-so-typical trip that I'm going to share with you? Clue: this is a one-with-the-nature trip that will take your breath away once you manage to step on their summit. Do you know what I'm talking about? Well, we'll take a look at the 10 highest mountains in the Philippines that outdoor enthusiasts should try. There are several interesting mountaineering locations in the Philippines. To preserve the rich flora and fauna, many of these have been designated as nature reserves. You will experience a once-in-a-lifetime adventure if you hike to these mountains. You'll get a close-up look at the several rare species that can only be found in the Philippines. At number 10, Mount Timbak. Location or jump-off: Atac, Benguet, and Cabayan, Benguet. Elevation 2,717 meters above sea level. Trekking time 2 hours from Halsema Highway and 15 minutes from where the local road ends. Mount Timbak is officially the Philippines' 10th highest mountain. One could imagine untamed routes and hard-to-reach climbs to step on its peak. Given its majesty, this mountain will totally take your breath away as it gives you a view you never knew. Though it's hard to climb, the route is so simple and straight, and it's suitable for novices. This is due to the fact that a little road leads very close to the summit, and take note, there are vegetable gardens rather than forests with big grasses and trees. Can you believe it? Just a reminder, early in the morning is the ideal time to go so you can witness the magnificent sunrise. What is more amazing is that you can also see the tallest mountains in Luzon, including Mount Pulag, Mount Tabayoc, Mount Maagnaw, and Mount Kalatungan from this location. It's like one hike in too many mountains, and don't miss out on the sought-after renowned mummies of Cabayan if you have time. At number 9, Mount Maagnaw. Location or jump-off: Sitio Bulogan, Lantapan, Bukidnon. Elevation 2,742 meters above sea level. Tracking time 17 to 18 hours to the summit. The 9th highest peak in the Philippines is Mount Maagnaw. Trekkers rank it as one of the most difficult hikes, giving it a difficulty rating of 9 out of 10. Its steep slopes cause difficulties for hikers to reach its summit, but that's the ideal recipe for a lifetime of adventure. Mount Maagnaw is home to numerous wildlife species, including the recognizable Philippine eagle, due to its location within the Kitanglad range. So don't forget this on your list when you want to take in the alluring mossy trees and alluring mountain views, and get closer to nature. Number 8, Mount Ragang. Location or jump-off: Lanao del Sur and Cotabato. Elevation 2,803 meters above sea level. Trekking time 16 to 17 hours to the summit. Mount Ragang, known as the Blue Mountain, is part of the same mountain range as Mount Piapayungan. Due to its remoteness, only a small number of hikers and some local hunters were able to reach its peak. Although this is the 8th highest mountain, this is not yet discovered by many tourists because of its place and difficulties reaching its summit. But once you have reached its magnificent peak, Mount Ragang will undoubtedly provide you with a once-in-a-lifetime experience because it is one of the least traveled mountains. As you trek there, get ready to get crazy, since you'll travel uncharted terrain and overcome terrifying obstacles. Yet it's all worthwhile because you'll virtually always come across natural beauty like unspoiled forests, enormous trees, and panoramic mountain vistas. Number 7, Mount Piapayungan. Location or jump-off: Lanao del Sur and Cotabato. Elevation 2,817 meters above sea level. Tracking time 14 to 15 hours to the summit. This is also one of the Philippines' least traveled mountains. The majority of its lower slopes are covered in enormous Dipterocarp mountains, perhaps one of the last of their kind on the island. They are home to numerous species that you never knew existed, many of which science has yet to identify. You travel in time by hiking up the mountain. It will help you imagine what the island of Mindanao must have looked like before mining and logging destroyed the majority of its forests. The mountain is largely covered with grasses and shrubs, creating a distinctive environment that supports a variety of uncommon wildlife species. Keep your eyes peeled so you can spot unusual wildlife species as you hike. That would be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, so if you want to discover new species here, make sure to be ready with hard-to-reach climbs and non-stop slides on your way. Number 6. Mount Kalatungan. Location or jump-off, Bukidnon. Elevation 2,824 meters above sea level. Trekking time 15 hours to the summit. Due to its incredibly difficult paths, Mount Kalatungan is one of the most fearsome mountains in the Philippines. Yet do not let that deter you from attacking it, because you will come across gushing waterfalls, perplexing mossy forests, and much more. What is more amazing is that this mountain is sacred to the local inhabitants. They carry out ceremonies before permitting climbers to make the ascent to its top. It's one of the 10 highest mountains in the Philippines and one of the most biodiverse as well. The mountain serves as a vital haven for the endangered Philippine eagle. Let us know how we're doing by commenting below. Don't miss out on valuable travel video updates by subscribing to our channel. Going back to our list, at number 5, Mount Tabayoc. Location or jump-off, Barangay Balay, Kabayan, Benguet. Elevation 2,842 meters above sea level. Trekking time 3 to 4 hours. Locals call a section of the trail on Mount Tabayoc the Monkey Trail because it requires them to cling onto branches, scramble across stones, and hang onto vines in order to move further. When you engage in this, you might begin to feel like Tarzan in the actual world, yet once you get to the top, you can anticipate magnificent views of the surrounding forested mountains, such as Mount Pulag, Mount Timbak, and Mount Kalawitan. After your walk is complete, head to one of the 4 beautiful lakes you should never miss. First, Lake Tabayoc, while the other 3 are located within Mount Tabayoc, popularly known as the Junior Pulag. Lake Tabayoc is situated within a residential neighborhood. Second, Lake Bulalakaw. This can be reached by hiking through a picturesque oak forest that densely grows around the mountain's base and has water that is crystal clean. Bulalakaw Lake has received recognition as a 3-time consecutive winner in the Gawad Pangulo sa Kapiligiran category for the cleanest lake for the Cordillera. Third, Lake Natip Ngapos. A folktale about a hunter and his dog who stayed by the lake one evening served as the inspiration for the name Lake Ngapos. Folklore has it that a large snake was slithering about in the vicinity. And lastly, Lake Incolos. This is intriguing and different. The lake water beneath is covered in mud, moss, and vegetation. Moving on to our next spot on the list, at number 4, Mount Kitanglad. Location or jump-off, Impasugong, Bukidnon. Elevation 2,899 meters above sea level. Trekking time 10 to 11 hours to the summit. The traditions of the nearby indigenous villages immortalize Mount Kitanglad. They believe that the mountain is inhabited by invisible spirits and deities, thus they must preserve and revere it. According to tradition, only Mount Kitanglad's summit was spared from the Big Flood, allowing some survivors to build towns there afterwards. You'll also be rewarded with breathtaking mountain vistas, immaculate pathways, and ethereal forests because Mount Kitanglad is located in the same mountain range as Mount Dulang-Dulang. Even the Philippine eagle can be seen here for a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and it's perched on the mountain's lofty areas. With a staggering height of 2,899 MASL, Mount Kitanglad is the Philippines' 4th highest mountain that has already been visited by hikers. Also, it boasts the highest concentration of endangered species and one of the most diversified ecosystems. Number 3. Mount Pulag. Location to jump off, Kabayan, Benguet, and Ifugao, and part of Nueva Vizcaya. Elevation 2,926 meters above sea level. Trekking time 4 to 5 hours to the summit. Formerly ranked 2nd, Mount Pulag is now the 3rd highest mountain in the Philippines. It is renowned for having a rounded peak covered with lovely grasses and little bamboo. You'll have one of the most stunning views of the endless sea of clouds from this vantage point. In the mountain's lower slopes, various ethnic tribes including the Ibaloy, Kalanguya, Karao, and Kankarne live. Their traditional methods of forest conservation help to safeguard the mountain. However, the mossy forests of Mount Pulag are being slowly destroyed by commercial vegetable farming. What can you do as a mountaineer to support this preservation? Well, make sure to keep track of reach without damaging the paths and littering things on your way. Number 2. Mount Dulang-Dulang. Location to jump off: Sitio Bolongan, Barangay Sangco, Lantapan, Bukidnon. Elevation 2,938 meters above sea level. Trekking time 10 hours to the summit. The second highest mountain in the Philippines is Mount Dulang-Dulang. It is a botanical paradise and one of the nation's last unspoiled ecosystems, much like Mount Apo. Lower slopes are covered in dipterocarp trees and higher elevations are dominated by beautiful mossy forests. The mountain is a crucial refuge because it is home to Philippine eagles as well. You'll have a memorable wildlife encounter if you hike up the mountain. You'll also be rewarded with breathtaking views of the woodlands and cloud sea. And down to our top 1 pick, Mount Apo. Location to jump off: Davao del Sur and Cotabato. Elevation 2,956 meters above sea level. Trekking time 10 to 11 hours to the summit. Mount Apo is the tallest mountain in the Philippines and is known as the King of Philippine Mountains because of its majestic height. The national government designated it a national park as a result of the thriving natural diversity. The critically endangered Philippine eagle, huge Rafflesia blooms, and various other animal species are just a few of the amazing species that may be found here. As you make your trip, you'll pass by ancient forests, a mysterious lake, sulfuric vents, and mossy forests. You may feel a breathtaking perspective of Mindanao's various landscapes, from low-lying plains to imposing mountain ranges from the summit. So, why not brave your way to these mountains the next time your wanderlust strikes you with your hiker buddies? So, which of the highest mountains should you try to climb first? Why not tag your friends for these best trails for outdoor enthusiasts? Let me know in the comments below. Push that notification bell to be updated on our next travel videos, and don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, safe travels.